What it is. It's your boy LB. That's right. Got my coffee. Mm-hmm. Got the coffee. Oh yeah, that's gonna put the coffee cup right in front of the camera. Smash that like button as you come into the room. Smash that like button. Don't forget to press the like button. Don't forget to press the like button. Don't just be up in here peeping time and on the live. Don't be a peeping time on the live. Be where it be, sir. Where it be. What it be. Don't be a peeping Tom on the live. If you looking, just press that like button. Just go on and press it. It ain't nothing. It ain't nothing. Come on, we got 8 people in the room. Can we get up to 8 likes? All you gotta do is smash that like button as you come in. Don't be no peeping Tom. Don't be standing around just looking and you can't smash the like button. Now, if you a hater, I get it. Now, if you don't like Burley, then I can understand. But if you here supporting, go on, just press that like button, please. hmm That's all you got to do because we're going to talk some 52, man. I'm tired of people poo pooing on defense, acting like they don't know what defense is. They out here acting like they don't even understand defense. We got to break that down. Why is this such a level of disdain for defense? The elephant in the room. Defense is the elephant in the room, people. It's the elephant that they don't want to. They don't. Nobody want to talk about that. Nobody want to talk about defense. At least not the people that understand that are really trying to engage. Like those fake fighters. They won't talk about defense. They won't talk about that defense. Yeah, you gotta get them punches right. Yeah, I had a conversation with a dude that does Wing Chun today, and yeah, man, I think there's a lot of kung fu fantasies out there, man. Like it's a shame what Hollywood has done to our brains. This is your brain on kung fu. Not saying that kung fu can't work. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. Get some of this dust out the way. hmm We're gonna talk about it. So yo, like got into a fender bender. Oh, that's not good. The homie say he got into a fender bender. That's not good. Somebody just jumped into my on my text message and said they got into a fender bender. Michael Ali, you ain't got defense, you ain't got offense. Plain and simple. Okay, Michael Ali, that's right. Talk your talk, brother. Talk your talk. Smash that like button. 11 people in the room, only 5 likes. Come on now. Come on now. Stop playing with Uncle Burley. Michael Phoenix. That's right. Let's get them likes up so we can start this conversation, man. Because I got some questions. I'm going to have to ask y'all the questions because I need to know. I need to know these things, man. I need to know these things. But we're going to talk. All right. So let's get into it. Why is defense overlooked? Can anybody in this room, the 9 people I have on the chat now, can anybody out the 9 tell me why is defense so overlooked? Anybody got that answer? Why is defense so overlooked and not celebrated as it should be? Talk to me, people. Talk to me. Why is defense overlooked and not celebrated as much as it should be? Anybody got any answers? hmm Talk to me about it. Let's talk. Michael Phoenix came with it because everybody's looking for the knockout. Facts. I'm gonna tell you why defense is overlooked. Because of pure laziness, that could be one reason. But I'm gonna tell you, it's really lined up in ego. It's really connected to ego. Why is defense overlooked? because defense is usually happening when somebody is coming on. Like if somebody's throwing the 6-piece combo at you, trying to knock you out, that's different from you throwing the 6-piece combo trying to knock him out. See, the problem is in offense, there's arrogance that's built in the offense. Like when I was speaking to the young Wing Chun practitioner, and he seen himself as winning. King Hame knockouts sell tickets. That's a fact. That is a fact. Knockouts definitely sell tickets. And why is that? Because as God's having a human experience, we have an affinity to seeing other people get hurt. That is what it's all about. People just have an affinity of seeing someone else besides them getting the ass whooping. You enjoy that. You don't enjoy to be the person there collecting that whooping, but you enjoy watching someone else take a whooping. And this is the arrogance and the ego with offense, that you believe you're always in the winning position, that you're always in the winning driver's seat. And this is not true. A fight is an ebb and tide, ebb and flow. It's like, you know, it's ebb and flow, kind of like water or waves. Every now and then you may get a fight where you shut a person out, but that's not the, if you really fighting people that know how to fight, that's not going to be your everyday thing. See, when you get to the top of the mountain, people, everybody gunslingers. At the top of the mountain, everybody is a gunslinger. Everybody busting shots. So what's going to separate you from the next gunslinger? What separates you? Defense. Because if he's shooting, you shooting, what it's going to come down to is he's going to have to miss one of his shots and I'm going to have to land mine because we both shooting at each other. See, defense is a big equalizer, but it's not respected because in the ego mind, defense is used when the whooping's being put on you. And this is a fact. Because if you fighting another person, you got to believe he want to win just like you want to win. Like, you get caught up in your mind that you the only person that want to win. No, he want to win too. He want to win too. And if he's good, he gonna fight hard. Hawaii slider, aloha, aloha, brother. So the mind, the way people view defense is just crazy. So whenever I tell people 52 blocks, like I told the young man, 52 blocks is all defense. His next question was, well, how do you hurt somebody? Wow. Wow. How do you hurt somebody? See where we at with it, people? Now, there's nothing wrong with wanting to hurt people that are trying to hurt you. Nothing wrong with that. Someone trying to take you out, you gotta go, you gotta do what you gotta do to get home. But the objective of martial arts isn't just hurting people. It's the smallest branch off the tree. I've always said that's just the smallest branch off the tree is your ability to hurt a person. Because it's any given Sunday. And it may not stop there. Let's say you get off that fiery technique, you knock him out. He comes back a week later with some friends and guns you down. So it doesn't just end there. We got to understand that offense is a rabbit hole. That once you go down, that you don't know what you're going to get. Offense is way connected to arrogance because everybody wants to see themselves as winning. Everybody sees themselves as a 10. Everybody sees themselves as a boss. Think of the mind state now. Everybody's a boss, nobody's a worker. Then who's running the business? If we all bosses, who are the inner gears that turn the business? Because not everybody can be a boss, not everybody can be a chief. They used to say something back in my day, too many chiefs and not enough Indians. Too many chiefs and not enough Indians. And that's the same thing happening here. Is if people want to have offense without understanding defense. And they don't want to understand defense for what it really is. It should be something you learn before you learn offense. You should already be studying how to move offline, how to shift your weight in your feet, when to block, when not to block, how to block on the move. And then you learn how to decapitate a man. See, the first thing you should learn how to do is how not to lose your head. That's the first. Once you master that, then you can move on to taking other people's heads off their shoulders. It's really that simple. But ego won't allow you to do it. Ego wants you to believe that you're always in the winning seat, and you're not. He said everybody's a boss until you get punched in the face. That's right. And then everybody goes back to the worker. When something happens, people are looking, they don't want to be the boss when things get thick. See, people only want to be the boss when things are running smooth. See, but they don't really understand what the boss is. See, the boss works harder than the worker. And this is what I don't get. Half these people claiming boss are lazy. But if you truly knew the boss's job, you would understand that the boss works harder than his workers. And he may even take a pay cut to make sure his workers are getting paid while he takes a small, he's not even really making a living off of what's happening because he knows he'll get it in the long term. See, the boss, that's the way the boss thinks. The boss thinking long term. The workers can't think long term. They need their checks by the end of the week. They got to take care of their family. They got to keep things moving. But the boss going to take a hit. But people don't see that. They don't want that side of the boss. They don't want that side of the boss. They just want the side of the boss where they feel like they can boss out orders. And that's like having offense with no defense. You just want to boss out orders, but you want to talk, but you don't want to listen. You know what defense is? Listening. You know what offense is? Running your mouth. That's running your mouth. That's why if you see two people having an argument, they both yelling at each other, nobody's listening. So no points are being made because everybody just shooting. Listening is defensive. Listening is a defensive quality because before you respond, you listen, you understand, then you shoot back. So listening is a defensive quality. That's why in the argument, that's why in the debate, they let you go, then you shut up and let me go, then I shut up and let you go. Because then we're listening. We got to listen to what each other's saying to rebuttal. Good defense, you can read. Exactly. You can read your opponent. Defense is to help you understand your opponent. So when I get people that are still kind of confused on what 52 blocks is, it's like, this is people just not wanting to digest the fact that defense matters, people. I'm seeing all types of people like, is it Wing Chun mixed with Kung Fu? And like, what? Why does everything have to be Kung Fu, man? Like, Kung Fu has really messed us up over here. And that's another, rant I got to have is that Kung Fu has messed up America. That's right. I'm going to say it. Kung Fu is messing up America. Because and it's not Kung Fu itself, it's the Americans trying to adopt cultures that are not yours and try to walk around like you know what you're doing. Free smoke, respect. Kung Fu is messing us up, people. And I like Kung Fu. I've trained in Kung Fu arts. Yeah, it's a holdover from the 70s, facts. I've trained in Kung Fu arts. I like Kung Fu, but I don't like it so much that I'm really adopting it for what it is. Like, I look at Kung Fu as abstract fighting. All of this stuff that you see in Wing Chun and the Pak style is not going to work, people. And why isn't it going to work? Because we fight different in America than what Wing Chun was fighting in China. We just fight differently. It's not going to work. You ain't Pak Sawing, you ain't Quan Sawing, you ain't Tan Sawing, nothing. Nothing. Now, in the abstract sense, you may be able to pull that off. But in the detailed, you're not catching no punches. Like, stop this nonsense. You're not going to catch no punches, man. Keith Barnes said, hi, brother LB. Love your work and how you teach. I'm late in the video, but I'm proud of you and love you like my own brother. Keep up the good work. I have a 9-year. Wow. Salute to Keith Barnes. Appreciate you, man, with those, inspiring, moving words. Thank you. The entertainment industry brainwashed the whole. Yes, yeah, man. A real boxer would dismantle other type of martial arts. Yes, yes, yes. Uh, Hawaii Slide Card says street fighting is different. It is very different. Street fighting is very different. But the thing about street fighting is most people fighting on the streets don't know how to fight, man. You ain't running into too many people that know how to fight, wasting their time with a street fight. Not saying that it can't happen or that you can't defend yourself, but somebody who really knows what they're doing, um, it's going to be hard to engage them in combat. See, that's where your real martial art training goes. That it shouldn't be that easy to get you out there whooping ass. Like you shouldn't be ticked off that easily. And if you are, you're probably untrained. You know, a lot of this, as I said, is emotional content and learning how to be a better emotional person. Fighting really works, helps you with your emotions. And the ones that it don't help, well, that's bad for them. But on the whole, fighting can help you with your emotions. And the better your emotions are, the less street fights you're going to be in. You know, like you got these guys talking like, I've never lost a street fight. It's like, what does that mean? Like, we have no record. Like even when we were talking about Ip Man, there's no record of Ip Man fighting. Now we may hear these articles, but I can't believe it. I ain't see it, and I'm not knocking it, man. I'm just saying, I wasn't there, so I'm not going to take it like I'm not going to take it as that. Heavy Andy, Yo LB, let's talk about Teofimo Lopez and Cambosa's fight. LB, what's your opinion on jujitsu and Muay Thai? Well, those are things that work. Jujitsu and Muay Thai, like they're centered around actually sparring. What I mean by things that work is they make you work. You ain't gonna go into a Muay Thai gym and not get no sparring. You eventually gonna have to spar. You ain't gonna go into no jujitsu gym and not get no sparring. Eventually, you're gonna have to get on the ground. And these is why these arts are so effective. Those arm punches are going to get you hurt with the street. Yeah, man, listen. Street fighting is not easy, people. It's not easy because everything is available. You can be jumped, hit with a stick. It doesn't have to be just a hand fight. He said, get the likes up. The brother is spitting jewels. Thank you. I thought it was just me, Free Smoke. Why they ain't pressing that like button? I know it's only 17 people in the building, 18 now, but we can have 18 likes. If everybody that's viewing this video press the like button, then right now we can have 17 to 18 likes. Because I'm gonna kill some fantasies. I'm gonna make some people mad. Some people may get rubbed the wrong way, but hey, better you hear from Uncle Burley than get in front of your get in the fight and have somebody teach you this lesson on your face. Kung Fu has messed up America, man. Kung Fu ideal, the Kung Fu ideals, has messed up America, man. And we need to stop it. You can train your Kung Fu, but don't take your Kung Fu out of the lane that it's in. Don't take your Kung, like when you look at Jet Li did Wushu. Wushu. That's the art of forms. Jet Li wasn't fighting people. He's not fighting. No sparring matches at Jet Li. I'm not saying he's never sparred. I'm not saying it. I'm just saying we haven't seen nothing real outside the movies. So I can't believe him. Can't believe him. Sorry. Michael Ali's about to share this out. Salute. I can't believe him. You know what I credit Bruce Lee for? Work ethic. Not his fighting or his technique, his work ethic that sharpened his technique. Bruce Lee believed in training every day. That's what I believe in. To me, that's the real thing. Forget your technique. Can you get up and move your body every day? Discipline, focus, make it a habit. You eat every day, right? Ain't too many days you missing meals, right? Most days you have a meal. That should be your training. And if your training hasn't reached that level, you're just playing around. I'm sorry to tell you, just playing with it. Just playing with it. Your training needs to be as consistent as your eating habits. If you really want the raw, if you really want that excellence, you got to get them on the same page. You eat every day. You get dressed every day, right? I'm hoping that people ain't walking around butt naked, like waking up saying, today I'm not going to put no clothes on. No, every day you wake up, you put some clothes on, right? So that's your training. Every day you should be training. And if you ain't reached that level, I'm sorry, but your martial arts is not going to work. Sorry, Uncle Burley's here to bring this message to you. I don't care what you're doing. It's not going to work. Jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, boxing, it's not going to work. One cat got his lip bit off. You seen that, King Ted, right? He got his lip bit off in a street fight. What's your counter for that? I did a reaction to a video where a guy got his bottom lip ripped off in the fight. What's your counter? Have you practiced that in your gym? Somebody rips off your lip, how to counter that? See, that's what I'm saying. A street fight is big. There's so many variables in it. Forget what you've learned. You know what I'm saying? It's going to have to be in your muscle memory. It's not going to have something that you have to think about. It's going to have to be something that happens like you breathing or coughing. Got to be natural. 4 a.m. salute. And that's what a lot of these martial artists are missing. Even the 52 block guys, I can tell they're not training every day because coordination can obviously see that. You know, if you train, if you do anything every day, there comes this glow about you that people know. Or when you speak on it, they can feel your words, like there's steel in your words. So, because when you training, you shouldn't have to get into a lot of fights. You should have the confidence to talk your way out of a fight. And if you ain't got your confidence to talk your way out of a fight, you shouldn't be fighting because you're fighting off pure emotions and fear. It's like Caesar Milan. He one episode he showed this dog. The dog was shaking the crate, rah, 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 just going crazy. Caesar Milan came up on the scene and said, "That dog ain't real. He's just scared. He's just bluffing with fear." And that's most people. That's most men. Just shaking the cage, but they ain't really ready to get down to biting and putting in that work. Michael Burns said, "I want that 52 blocks DVD. I got digital downloads now. I ain't got too many DVDs left. I love that video when Capoeira meets 52 blocks. Love it, Mr. Burley. Hollywood needs to recognize more of the black man's martial arts. Motherland's realest facts. Chrome Glock, peace. That's fact. It's fact. We need some camera time too. I ain't like I'm trying to say that we can't get up there and do some movies like Kung Fu. I'm just saying Kung Fu got a lot of minds warped on what they could do in the fight. And even the dude I was talking to about Wing Chun, I told him, because I could see he was out of shape, is that being in shape is a part of fighting, people. And this is where I'm sick of with these Kung Fu men with these fat bellies and they got ties, they need a bra, they're just looking out of shape, looking terrible. Like, what art can you represent if you ain't got no health? Like, if your health is below average, you ain't got no muscles, no power. You can't do 75 push-ups in one stop. You should be able to do 75 to 100 push-ups a clip, or you're no martial artist. I'm sorry, you're no martial artist. You're faking. Don't approach the rabid dog. What I think about DK? Yo, um, I've seen only simulations, so I can't say I believe him. But I heard he's about to compete. I heard he's willing to compete to show his stuff. I respect that about DK Woo. So when he gets that, when he competes, I think we'll all have a better understanding of how good DK Yo is after he competes. But for right now, he's a simulator. I am no longer impressed by simulations. I'm sorry. I mean, like choreographed simulations. Like I'm not impressed with that. I'm just not. Even Master Wong, I love Master Wong. He puts out many videos. I have yet to see a sparring video though. So, and people are on there like Master Wong can handle himself in the street. How do we know? He's showing us simulated videos. We need to know what happens when the simulation is off and your blood is pumping. You're kind of nervous, but you still gotta execute. We need to see him at that level. Even sparring. See, I'm not asking that you have to go out and have an actual street fight, but just sparring. You can spar your students. You can. I don't care. Just show me how you move when real things are happening and it's unrehearsed. Michael Burns, lightburley.com. That is lightburley.com. Trained yesterday after your live stream and got done training today. Train every day. I wrote it down. That's right, Mr. Raul Duke. That's the only way. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. If you only training twice a day, you're no martial artist. If you're training three times a week, you're no martial artist. If you're training 7 days a week, welcome to the martial art family. See, you can't play around with this. I'm tired of seeing men trying to play around with this. Because the thing is, a lot of men that are in martial arts are here because of fear. They're here because of fear. They're here because, maybe they don't want to get beat up. They living in the crazy hood. They got fear of protecting their family. And that's all good. Fear can be a good motivator, but it's not the best motivator. But it can be a good motivator, but it's not the best motivator. You should be here because not of fear, but the collecting of information to make yourself better. Master Wong got called out by MMA fighter. He punked. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. Yeah, I respect DK for stepping up. We just got to see the fight now. But like I'm saying, it could be tournaments, it could be sparring. We have to start requesting more from these so-called teachers. I'm tired of seeing set up demonstrations where they say throw the punch. Okay, well, like if you was going to throw me a punch right now. Get out of here with that, man. Like I can't believe we're still doing that. You should be able to say, all right, we're gonna spar and I'm gonna show you what we doing. Freestyle. Freestyle. I'm not saying it gotta be killing sparring, but it has to be something, that's not that you don't know is coming so we can see how it works under pressure. Because these techniques that you're showing, they're not the same. Pressure hits them. They won't be the same. They can't be the same. Yeah, it has to be a lifestyle. It has to be a lifestyle. If you haven't, then you're no martial artist. It has to be a lifestyle. You can't play around with this thing. And what I mean by training every day, I'm not saying you got to go 36 chambers every day. If you do some fight study, you do some stretches. On one day you go hard. The next day you go medium. Next day you go slow. Next day you just work on head movement. But it has to be Monday through Sunday. If you're not prepared for that schedule, get off the train because you're part of the Kung Fu fantasy. You're the people that you're the person that keeps the lights on in the dojo. The people that come for the fantasy that come twice a week to the dojo. You're just there keeping the lights on. Now there's a student that's coming every day. He's the one that the teacher's really looking at. See, he's going to be the one that carries the style. But the guys that go training 3 times a week, twice, you just bill payers. You just keeping the lights on in the dojo, keeping the water running in the sink. But what are you doing? What are you getting out of it for yourself? Or is it just a mind trick you're playing on? Like I'm doing this Muay Thai twice a week, so if somebody jump out on me, I'm gonna use my Muay Thai kick. No, you won't. No, you won't. Your brain doesn't work like that. You have to know. You have to know. Hold on one second. How your brain works and how your brain takes in information. Hold on. Hold on, people. Let's set this up. Hold on. Gotta change up a little bit because my computer was starting to die. All right, let's lift this up. G. Brown said, I'd rather learn in person, but can watching the videos help me learn as well? Yeah. Well, you have a supercomputer, you know. in your brain. So there's a lot of things you can do, but you have to train every day. I'm not one that's with the self-taught thing. I think you do need a good teacher at some point in your career. But if you're working at it every day, then yes, your supercomputer will help you figure things out. What happened to Bags from Fort Greene? Guam King, would it be? I'm not too familiar with Bags. Like even when we think about the Duffy brothers and all of these lists of 52 block fighters, let's understand people. They were fighting people that couldn't fight. Most 52 blocks practitioners were fighting other street fighters. And I consider street fighters the lowest of the low on the totem pole of fighters. Street fighters are the lowest of the low. They're all the way at the bottom. Now you can be a good street fighter that has good instincts, good natural abilities, but to really get the use out of them, you're going to have to find a teacher that can help you exploit those natural gifts you have. But without someone to help you exploit those natural gifts that you have, you're at the bottom of the totem pole. So most 52 block men, the Duffy brothers, Bags, Mother Dear, all of these dudes fought people that didn't know how to fight. So what type of victory is that? Like where are you, you know, I can go around beating up on children. I wouldn't say I'm undefeated. I can go beat up 20 year olds and then say what? I'm 20 and 0. 20 10-year olds, I meant to say. I can go beat up 20 10-year olds, but does that make me 20 and 0? It's like people, we got to get real. We got to get out of this fantasy fighting. Like fighting is usually a man's delusion. Just like women have delusions, a man's delusion is that you just born knowing how to fight. That if you can get angry, you know how to fight. And anger doesn't help you with no part of fighting. So anger ain't going to do nothing but mess you up. So street fighters are at the bottom of the totem pole. So we don't even count their fights. I got street fighters telling me they 50 and 0 and undefeated. Get out of here. We can't believe it. We can't believe it. Like I can say I've sold drugs in my life. What's really going to make y'all believe me? I could just be talking, right? But also I have the felonies and the cases to prove it. See, that's a proof. So if you're going to be this fighter, I'm going to need some proof. I don't want to just take your word. I'm sorry. I don't believe you. I don't believe the mouths of people, and you shouldn't either. Don't believe this. This right here, this right here, this is the deceiver. The mouth is the deceiver. So how can you make your words, how can you give your words credibility? You back it up with something that can be seen. Back it up with something that can be seen. What are your thoughts on strength and conditioning for martial arts? Is there room for weights, or do you recommend body weight only? Um, I don't think that depends on what you're doing. I think if you're gonna lift weights, it's gonna take away a lot of um, your flexibility. This guy's so big. Like there was one dude so big, there's no way he could wipe his own butt. Like you get this big, how do you get your hand back there to wipe your butt? So you've killed your own flexibility with a bunch of muscles for no reason. So yeah, there definitely has to be a balance. Like you don't want to lift weights to the point that you just you lose flexibility, but you can add some weights in there. Your weight is good too. I believe in lifting your own weight is enough, but you can add extra weights in there, but don't do too much. Because long muscle is fight muscle, small muscle is show muscle. Small rocky muscle, that's good for t-shirts and weightlifting competitions. But if you're talking about fighting, you need long muscle. You need long muscle. Slows you down too, yes. When I did jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, MMA 7 days, I got my ribs hurt. So I had to trade 3 days, take a 3 days break, then go at it again. Well, on those 3 days of break, you shouldn't be breaking, King Ted. You gotta be reading books, you gotta be watching fight video. Like this is what I mean. See, this is what people you don't want to think that every day has to be a physical day. No, it has to be a training day, an informative day. So even if you just woke up and watched fights, that's training your mind. Even if you wake up and meditate, It's training the spirit. If you wake up throwing punches, you throw the physical. Because remember, people, it's physical, mental, spiritual. All three of those need training. You got 7 days. So not every day it has to be a Bruce Lee, you kicking stuff out the park, or punching people, or punching things down, or punching rocks and fire. Not every day has to be that. You can break your week up. You do 2 days of mental, 2 days of physical, 2 days of spiritual. And then on that seventh day, you can relax and just stretch. Just do some stretching. And that way you stay consistent. Because if you try to be crazy every day, you're gonna fall off. You're gonna hurt yourself. And now you can't train 7 days. Like you don't have to go as hard as you think, but you have to be as consistent. You have to be consistent. It's not about hardness, it's about consistency. Consistency is the true winner here, not hardness. Hardness breaks what's too weak bows, but being consistent is where you find excellence. King Ted said, plus I take notes. That's right. That's right. See, you got to be consistent with it. That's the real essence to it. If you can find consistency, let me tell you, consistency beats no luck, good luck, and bad luck. You want to know what beats all of that? Consistency. Once again, consistency beats no luck, good luck, and bad luck. It's just being consistent. Your job is to stay alive so you can be consistent. But don't ever think you can come into this martial art world as a weekend warrior and think you're going to reach some excellence. You will not. You're playing with it. You're playing with it. Because your body should match. You shouldn't be doing Wing Chun and you got a bear belly or Tai Chi belly. Like where's this like where are you training at? Where you just training the Wing Chun dummy? You got people training on the Wing Chun dummy like that's enough. No, it's not enough. It's a small thing, and it's not alive. See, simulation can only bring you close to the real thing. It is simulation is not the real thing. It's just not. But you want to run simulation so you get used to it. Soldiers use simulation. NASA and astronauts use simulation. Everything that's real has some simulation to it because you got to get the mind comfortable. Then the body can open up. The body can open up, but it's not the real thing. But let me tell you, with no simulation, you are nowhere close or ready for the real thing. At least a man that's been put through some simulations, he has a better chance of surviving the real thing. So when I see these 52 block guys out here dancing and giving away these funny information and techniques, like you can just give a man a technique and he's good, it's terrible. I had one guy said, I'm using skull and bones, but I keep getting kicked in my leg. And there's nothing wrong with that. He was just asking a question. But military uses war games because the military is about that. They about that life. He said he kept getting kicked in the leg. And that's only because his understanding of skull and bones is not what he thinks. He just thinking, I just throw up a skull and bones, it should block everything. No, there's a timing, there's when to do it. How long did you do it? Did you pose with it? All of that. So you can't just take a technique and think you ready. I can teach you a closed door, but that don't mean you ready to block a hook or you ready to block that punch. Because how do you know when the punch is coming? How do you know when he's going to throw it? Those are the questions that need to be asked before you throw up that block. The people want the fluff. They won't watch any of my teaching or exercise video, but I post the fluff. People love the fluff, man. They love the fluff. There is a bigger audience for the fluff than there is for the real. And I've just learned to accept that. I've just learned to accept it. But what I won't do is support it. I won't support the fluff. JOKO Lab says, thank you for all the info, bro. If I have never taken a class, where do I start? Well, if you're thinking about 52, we have the online course, Dedication Equals Elevation. I had to learn humility when I had 12 and 13-year-olds put me on bars and footlocks and Americanas. See, King Ted, that now you talking. Now you talking. I had a young girl, her name was the Black Widow. She was just killing stuff. Took me right on down. Took me right on down. But she's been doing it. She's competing. Like soon as you touch her, you can feel the energy. And she's doing it every day. Not no weekend warrior. She was doing it every day. So she took me right on down, put me in some crazy move. I'm not surprised by it. I know consistency wins. Brian TYBG Customs LLC, Brooks, would it be, homie? Would it be? That's why when you see all the, and I gotta knock them, these fake 52 block teachers, man. Even I'm Mr. 52, he got dudes out here looking crazy, man. Like, and I hate to call names, but I'm gonna call the names. You know, I'm seeing do the bird. Like, I seen this move. What it's like, why would you, unless your hands are handcuffed, why would you even do this in the fight? Like, we getting too crazy here, people. You're getting too crazy, man. We're getting too crazy with this, man. We're getting too fantastical, and people are coming to me asking me questions like I know what's going on. Like, yo, like, have you ever heard of shampooing? This is a 52 block. I'm like, nah, I've never heard of shampooing, but could you show me in real time? But they can't. They can't. There's even one brother, Uma Fight Camp, and he was saying Jailhouse Rock is different from 52 blocks. Now, I was born in 74. I'm a 74 baby. If anybody knows that I do believe that is the year Bruce Lee died. No, he dropped. I think he died on my birthday, but it may have been 73. But anyway, I'm a 74 baby. So he could be right. Maybe there's something I don't know about Jailhouse Rock. But I'm gonna tell you what I know about Jailhouse Rock. It was another name for 52 for my information. And um the way he broke Jailhouse Rock down, he said it was a rocket. Now this is when we go into fantasy, man. Like, what do you mean it's a rocking? Like, what does that mean? Like, is there a training method to the rocking? Like, and what I was saying, like, he was just saying it was a rocking. Like, what's the breakdown? How do you train the rocking? Which way are you rocking? Where's your weight when you rocking? Where's your chin? Where's your ass? Where's your hands? Jailhouse Rock to me was just people fighting in the jailhouse. They was rocking. I think Elvis Presley had the song Jailhouse Rock. Didn't Elvis Presley have a song called Jailhouse Rock? You know what I'm saying? So, and you know what it is too. A lot of people want to blow jail up, man. Listen, it's not that serious, man. Not that serious. You're locked up with other men. Issues going to happen. When you're locked up with men and there's no women around, it's going to be some ramifications. It's going to be some misunderstandings, and people are going to be moving furniture. Men are going to be moving furniture. But it's not this strange world where you could survive. You can't survive. It's harder to survive in the world than in jail. Like, people, let's understand, when you're in jail, they're giving you free meals, you got free housing. You know what I'm saying? You get some rec time. They count you to make sure you all there. Who's counting you when you in the world? When you in the world, ain't nobody doing no head counts. You'd be dead under a bridge for 3 months. Nobody wouldn't care or know. So where's it harder? The world or jail? It's way harder to live in the world. I don't know why people keep trying to blow this jail thing up. Jail is nothing, people. Jail is for losers and the people that have lost, and the people that belong there. There's some crazy people that do need to be in some cages. They ain't thinking right. They need a cage. But on the whole, it's people doing crimes, getting caught. That's it. Ain't that special? LB, I want to take 52 classes. I'm here for it. Thanks, bro. So start from the bottom. I want to check out Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah, there you go. Now you talking. I'm a 72 baby. Bruce died in 73. He did. Did he die on July 20th? Because that's my birthday. I think I got some of that reincarnation from Bruce in me. You know what I'm saying? At least I want to believe. See, this is my fantasy. You know what I'm saying? Bruce died on July 20th. Maybe I'm Bruce Lee reincarnated. Who knows? Because I believe in reincarnation. Maybe I'm the black Bruce Lee. I'm the melanated Bruce Lee. See, we all can have a fantasy. But this, it's not based in nothing real, so it can only just be fantasy talk. That's how most people are with their martial arts. They just fantasy talking. You're right. People boxing over principle in jail. Yeah, like they making like this. There was fights made in prison, like fight systems were made in prison. Let me tell you, in there, those brothers in there ain't really doing all that. I'm not saying they ain't training to some degree. I didn't see, a lot of my brothers, like I said, I was a criminal, so I know a lot of brothers went to jail. They made hooch in there, which is liquor, and they made dice out of napkins and stuff. So they got real MacGyverish in there. So I'm not going to say that their brains ain't spinning. I'm not going to say that. But a fighting system made in jail, I just don't believe in. I'm an 85 baby, okay. But it sounds good to sell the system. It sounds good. A fight system made in jail. Because you thinking like the people in jail, they're serious. No, they're losers. They have lost. These are not people that you hold in high regard. You know who you hold in high regard? The man that did the crime and never did no time. The man that did the crime and never did no time. You hold him in high regard. D'Angelo, soap dice. Yeah, they do soap dice. My homie showed me how they took the napkins, they wet napkins, they would shape them in squares, put them in the window, let them dry out. When they dry out, they paint the dots on them. Now, you can't use it but so many times, but people were rolling dice like that. And like I said, they made hooch. They made liquor out of banana and orange peels, sticking them in the toilet to ferment. They up in there making liquor. So I'm not saying that men aren't in jail being creative, but this ain't just jail. You stick men anywhere where they have less, and they will find a way. It's just because it's our supercomputer. It ain't just jail. It's anywhere. You put men where they have less, they will become creative to get something. LOL, you right. The technique I saw is there that they fight like Turbo in that movie Undisputed. I want me and my whole fam to learn 52 blocks. We in Louisiana. My sons be watching the YouTube videos, walking around the house, elbowing walls. Well, let me tell you something, Brian, BJ, BG. They on to something. See, start them early. Get them early moving and getting used to it, gaining that muscle memory. Because as I said, that's what it comes down to is muscle memory. If your technique is not part of your muscle memory, it's probably going to fail you. Your technique has to become part of muscle memory. You got to be like eye blinking. It just got to be part of your thing. If it's not, you're probably not going to be able to use it in real time when somebody's on top of you trying to hurt you. There's emotions that go into fight. See, that's what they forgot to tell you, people. There's a lot of things happening. There's emotion, there's a chemical reaction happening in your body, physical reaction, mental, spiritual. So all of these things got to be engaged before you get into the fight. And now this is one thing street fighters may have over trained fighters, is that they so used to being in real combat, they develop that natural sense for working in combat time. But that don't mean they're good. They just have a good combat mind and combat time, and that's good. I seen men make dice out of Tylenol and people making tattoo ink out of ash and baby oil. Facts. Even made a tattoo gun. My man told me how they made a tattoo gun out of a Walkman. See, men get creative when you leave them alone. That's just what we do because we're builders. That's not something that happens at jail. You can't credit that to jail. You have to credit that to men. Men, we are natural builders. So when you leave us alone, we're going to build some shit. And if you give us less, we're going to build some shit from less. That's all. But we're gonna keep building. You ain't gonna stop that unless you kill the man. You got to kill it. Bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang, just kill them. But if you let them live, they're gonna build something, man. They can build a rebellion if you let them live long enough and you ain't watching them, they'll be building a rebellion against you. Hunter Scott said, I'm going to pack a bowl. That's right. This is pack a bowl information. You got to already have, you know, we over here rocking with our sticks and coffee. Get that bowl ready, Hunter Scott. Pack that bowl. Fonz bless my family. Where'd it be, homie? Love to see you. Love to see. I love to see my family when they make it in the chat. People that are constant repeat offenders on my lives. I love that. I love repeat offenders, and I appreciate you for keep coming back for this real information. So don't be letting these fake martial artists fool you. Am I in New York? Not as I speak, but I've been to Georgia. I've left New York. You know, it seems like a lot more people wanted to train with me in New York after I left New York. It's terrible. I appreciate your information and you as a person. Respect, Mr. Hunter Scott. I appreciate you. Thanks for the love, bro. You know how it is, Fonzo Bless. You always showing love to my lives. You know I'm going to show love to you. You stay showing love. Motherland's realist. FBA all day. Melanin people facts. We are the culture. History proves it. There you go. Melanation, baby. It's a thing of nature. How and when do you teach footwork and integrate it with the big picture? North Star Yoga. Oh, you teach footwork from the very beginning, from the door, and it's not taught as. I think when we hear footwork, we just think about people moving around. There is a stillness in footwork that must be learned too, which is understanding your weight in your feet. Understanding what your weight means to your feet. That's the first thing. So that's the stillness in footwork. Then there's motion in footwork. But you got to go through the stillness first to get to the motion. YMA Gaming. Salute. So that's why I'm here to break down for y'all. Uncle Burley, I'm here to take the fantasy away from the art. I'm not taking the magic, taking the fantasy. Because as humans, our fantasy level is very big. We have a very big fantastical fantasy mind. And it's easily to slip into that side. So you got to keep yourself grounded. And I'm not going to say to the reality because everybody's realities can be different. But you got to stay grounded to the reality of fighting. NYC prison Kate. Oh yeah, there's a lot of things we've seen in prison. Like I'm telling you, men become MacGyver. When you sit them alone long enough, men become MacGyver because we have to build. It's part of who we are. But getting back to that Jailhouse Rock, it's like people are just making stuff up now. Now Jailhouse Rock is the rock. It's craziness. And he was showing crazy drills off of it. It all looked fake. And I'm not knocking the brother. I'm just keeping it real. I know fake when I see fake. North Star stillness and footwork. Never thought of that. Yes, there you go. That's what your Uncle Burley is here for. I got your back, North Star Yoga. Got your biz act. Got your back. Anybody on this live, y'all ain't gonna be confused. I ain't gonna let the fake martial artists confuse you. You come over here to Mr. Burley's live, you're gonna get that truth. Oh my God. Brian YTYBG said, if it ain't beautiful destruction, I'm a skeptic. And you know why I respect that? Because I said that on one of my lives. That's what the fight is. Beautiful destruction. That's about as pretty as it's gonna get. It ain't gonna be it's gonna be beautiful destruction. That's it. So there's a prettiness in ugly. Get that. There is a pretty and ugly, but it's just the pretty you think. The pretty you think is the fantastical mind of everything is so clean in the fight. All your moves are clean. It can't be. Somebody's trying to hurt you. They're swinging at you, trying to rip your face off. How clean can your technique be? I mean, you can clean it up, but it got to get dirty when you want to get in that dirt. And that dirt is called pressure. And pressure busts pipes. All else fails, you got that sock in the lock. See, they don't know about that. That sock in the lock could bring you a problem. I like that. In Dallas, when I was young, I heard people say, work clean. Yeah. It's like trying to sell drugs without getting dirty. You know, to sell drugs, you're gonna have to get dirty to some degree. But so clean you could stay. Cause you in the mud. You in the mud. But we all know mud cleans too. You know, there's a cleanliness that comes with mud. A lot of animals use mud to take ticks off of them. So there's a cleanliness to mud. But we look at mud like, oh, it's just dirty. No, mud ain't. The dirt ain't just dirty. The dirt is clean too. All fighting moves have been used for thousands of years, and those are the ones that work. But somebody asked me to speak on the Tiafimo George Kambosa's fight. So let's break it down. Where did Tio go wrong? I'm actually doing the video, and then I'm doing videos called Right Before the Knockout, where we break down what happened to the person right before they got knocked out or knocked down. Tio didn't get knocked out, but he did get knocked down, so we're gonna break that down. Tio went wrong because you can't write the ending of a story until the book is read. You can't write the ending of a story until the book is read. So when you go in there and your mind is, I'm gonna knock this person out, and that's where your mind stays. That's when you make your most mistakes, because you've one tracked your mind. You haven't said, maybe he's too hard to knock out. Maybe I'm just gonna have to go the distance. Maybe I'm gonna have to just move around him. When you get one track mind, you get what Tio was trying to do. That fight had been so built up and all of the talking, he was just gonna go in there and knock Kambosos out. And when he couldn't, his mind started unraveling. See, this is the unraveling you can't see. And every man knows the mind of unraveling, where you thought something was going to be the way it was, and now it's not. Now you start going down the hill. So Kambosos was a good fighter. He's went like 100 rounds with Manny Pacquiao. But you know, when you are stuck in mind, you're gonna overlook that fact. I'm pretty sure Tio overlooked that. Like, I don't care. He was sparring one of the icons of boxing. He got 200 rounds in with the icon. Like, that's not gonna rub off on him. That's where I got it from, bro. I caught that live. Thank you, Brian T.Y. I figured that. Got to be like water. Donnell Robinson, Coffee and Mary Jane. You know how we do it over here. You know how we do it around here. I think Brian TYBG just said, he says, a two-way road when in combat. Got to be ready to hit like never before. Got to be ready to be hit like never before. Yes. All of us warriors know when you sign the contract of fighting, and that means when you're ready to engage in a fight, you're also accepting the fact that you can die and be beat up. You have to. If you haven't accepted that fact, don't fight. Mike Phoenix says, 6 fan, what up, though? Didn't get to see that fight. We'll look at the playback. Yes, look at that fight. Oh, Free Smoke said, Brother Light, my martial brother used to train with, used to tell me the branches of a tree mean nothing if you don't focus on the root. Facts. 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 Real talk. The root is like the government. You don't see the government. You don't see the government at work, but it's there. That's the roots of a tree. You don't see the roots, but it's there. And they're the reason why the tree is there. Right now, I'm building my body up, following things I've learned, jailhouse workouts and exercise. Also, I follow Brawley Gaines and some other. Okay, there you go. I walked in the battle one time thinking I was just going to dominate and got slammed on my head instantly and never see. There you go. That's the one track thinking. You want to let your mind do what it does best, which is explore all of the options, as many as you can. And if your only option is I'm gonna knock him out, then you're fighting at a disadvantage. Fighting with a one-track mind is probably gonna get you hurt. So you have to start checking some of these people you call kung fu teachers and or martial art teachers, especially in 52. I'm here to tell you there's a lot of nonsense happening in 52. And I'm not one to jump on people's page and disrespect them. I'll let it go. Let's get them likes up. We at 44. We got more likes than people in the building. That's how I like it. That's how I like it. I ain't even mad at those numbers. When we got more likes than people in the building, that lets me know we rocking. It's chess and ain't checkers. In my Denzel voice. That's right. Oh, Denzel killed that line. Denzel killed that line. He said, y'all gonna be playing ball in Pelican Bay. Denzel is a beast. But that's what we're here to talk about, man. It's like there's so much tomfoolery going on with teaching the martial arts that I'm sick of it. Especially this kung fu blanket we're covered in. You know, like kung fu. You just train kung fu and you ain't got to train nothing else. No, you need to be jumping rope. You need to be able to do 100 push-ups, 25 a set if you got to, bust it down. Can Roberto Duran beat Mayweather? That would have been a good fight. I'm not sure, but Roberto Duran's rough. If we take a young Roberto Duran against a young Mayweather, that could be a tough fight for him. You know, Sugar Ray Leonard found out the hard way that Roberto Duran wasn't no pushover. He was no punk. So yeah, I think if the Roberto Duran couldn't beat Mayweather, he'd give him all types of problems. All types of problems. That's right. We talking fight fantasy, people. We got a lot of good people up in here talking. We got a lot of people up in here talking on the chat, breaking it down. And that is what we are here for. I'm seeing dudes doing kung fu techniques for 3 minutes. How is that possible? Jose Santos, respect to the 52 ham salute. How is that possible? That you can't jump rope for 3 minutes. You know, I just trained the brother. I had him do some low walking. He almost passed out. It's like how can you can't low walk, but you ready to hurt somebody? You ain't mastered yourself yet, but yet you trying to master others. See, that's the problem. Master yourself first before you go out there trying to put your mastery on others. You master yourself, now you cooking. See, but the arts, people get so caught up in the art, they forget the art is a tool to strengthen you. You're not supposed to pour everything into the art like the art is everything. No, you're the everything. You are the everything. The art is there to make you better, not for you to carry this art around like it's the end all. I'm a repeat offender. God, peace, and war king. Yes, you are. Sheesh yikes. He is back. Repeat offenders in the building. Repeat offenders in the building. We got predicates. We got predicate live watchers in here. They're predicates at watching my live, and I appreciate you, brothers. Because as I said, time is your greatest commodity, and if you spending time with me, you spending your currency, and I respect that. Especially to sit here and hear me talk about some of the things I see in martial arts. Excuse me, that's just makes me just shake my head. SMH, shaking my head. Like these people are being, misled because it's monetized. Fighting is a monetized business. So any people, there will be bullshit. Any place where there is money, there's going to be heavy bullshit. Got to understand this. And fighting is monetized now. So they're more interested with you paying your dues than you getting the lesson. You get the lesson or not. You already paid your dues. So if you keep forgetting that you're everything, you're not going to get nothing out of a martial art. If you doing the martial art for the sake of the martial art, then you're not getting nothing out of it. The martial art needs to be doing you. Weapons training. I think weapons training is big, but I also believe you should be very understood of you should understand the tactics of empty hand, empty feet, and then go into your weapon forms because it's going to make your weapons form way better if you already got intelligent limbs, hands and feet. Jo Lab said, first time it won't be the last. Thank all you bros. I'm about to work out and work out and work out and plant seeds. Look at JOKO. He said, man, listen, I'm with this live, but I got to go work out. See, that's what I'm talking about. You got to go put that work in. Like, you got to check your watch. Did you work out today? If you a true martial artist, did you put in work today? And if you didn't, you're slipping. You're slipping. Guam King said, that's why we don't get the good fights anymore. They only care about the fights to make the most money and what the people want. Yes, yes, yes. Back in the heydays of boxing, it was way more about the actual fight than the money. But it happens. Things get monetized, the BS moves in. It is what it is. You can't, you just can't defeat that. But you don't have to fall victim to it. If you paying your money for an art, you should be getting the most out of it because you do more than just your money. You putting your time into it, time that you can't get back. You've been with your kids, with your wife, with your family, or something. So if you're going to invest time outside of those things, then it has to be time well spent. And time well spent isn't just going to the dojo. It's about what you're doing at home too. See, the dojo, my teacher told me, you learn with me, but you understand by yourself. You learn with me, but you understand by yourself, meaning you can't reach no understanding in front of your teacher. Very hard to do, to reach understanding in front of your teacher. Some of us can pull it off because they understand the information, but most won't. You got to go home. Understand it's a singular thing, individual thing. We should have had the commission talk about AJ versus Wilder while they were both undefeated. Not now when they both have no belts. Well, they can still fight. I still like to see the AJ and Wilder fight. At 50, I had to school 3 young ones in Jeff City. That age ain't nothing but a number. Getting down ain't nothing but a thing. Sent them home limping. There you go. in the old Revolution galleries. So that's what it is. When is the last time you shadow box? When is the last time you shadow box with nunchucks? I've done no nunchuck shadow boxing. Much love to you. All before I leave, I got my coworkers do this in Mexico. 25 push-ups every hour while I work. That's after my morning. There you go. There you go. Y'all really working. Peace out, JOKO Lab. Time home. See you on the next live. That's why people look at Skull and Bones and say your body is open. Like, I'll throw up a Skull and Bones and they say your body is open. See, these are the people that don't know nothing about fighting. Let y'all all into something. You're open all of the time. Even in this stance, you're still open. There is no stance where you're fully closed. The only stance is probably the fetal position. And if you're in the fetal position, there's still things open. So there's no closing off all doors as a three-dimensional object. Maybe if you were one-dimensional, it was possible. But since you're a three-dimensional object, You can't close all of the goddamn doors. It's impossible. So yes, any block that you choose, if I choose to protect my body, my face is open. If I choose to protect my face, parts of my body is open. But you still got to make the choice. You still got to make the choice. You won't create muscle memory of techniques from lecture and practice with the seafood. The muscle memory comes with independent repetition. Yep, the key word, repetition. If you're in the fetal position, that means you're getting your ass handed to you. Yes, that's what I'm saying. And even in the fetal position, you still leave things open. Like you can cover up all of this, but your kidneys are open. This thing's open. And when I say that, and I say that to say that there is no block that covers your whole body. There's only one block that covers your whole body. It's called not fighting. If you want to cover your whole body, head and face, body, everything, then don't fight. That's the best defense to cover and everything. It's just don't fight. Because if you fight, we're gonna find some openness. You're throwing the block the counter anyway. If you're swinging at the face, I block the entry. Bodyguard Chronicles says, "Sir, you have you have to get a pair." Yeah, I'm not mad at nunchucks. I'm not mad at nunchucks. Um, when I see things like that, I think it's more of just for the understanding of it because the time that we live in kind of takes away from all of that. We're in an advanced age right now where nunchucks are cool, but you're not going to be walking around with nunchucks, hitting people in the head with nunchucks. Especially when there's guns out there. You pull out the nunchucks, he pull out the Draco. But if you want to have it for your own personal growth, that's dope. That's dope. That's dope. But it's kind of like trying to master the bow and arrow when everybody around you has guns. It's cute that you know how to shoot an arrow, but you're out of place because we got Dracos. And that one little arrow is going to get you murdered. Estevan Garcia, bless up. Bless up. So you got, you got to dip some of your fantasy in reality. Like people learning swords. We're not fighting with swords anymore. So your sword game is nice for you, but don't ever think that it's something for you to step out on the streets with. You ain't walking around with no samurai swords. I like throwing stars. I love throwing stars too, and throwing knives. I like that too. He said, "Thank you for sharing and synergizing." I like that synergize. That's right. We synergizing out here, giving away that energy, the energy of truth. Giving away that energy of truth. So a lot of people know when you come to train with me, you may not be doing no blocks for a minute. How are you blocking and all your fundamentals are out of place? Like last thing you should be thinking about is blocking if your fundamentals are out of whack. First, you need to get your fundamentals together. Then you could think about blocking, intercepting, ducking, dipping, diving, slipping, all of that. Guam King says something dope. He said most people that carry guns spray and pray. I know how to use. They out there. Most dudes running around with guns ain't going to the gun range. They ain't practicing. Like he said, they spray and pray. That's a dope saying for these fake gun handlers. Spray and pray. Michael Barnes said, "I'm just soaking up the game. That's what it is. Get your sponges out. Get the sponge out and soak this up." He said, "I may be a terrible brawler, but I'm a great shooter." and that's more current to the times that we living in. Is that you need to have a right hand and you need to go to the gun range. If you're going to carry that gun, go to the gun range, people. So that way, when you get the buck, and at least you can hit the person you actually trying to shoot, and don't end up because even knowing how to shoot, you can still hit an innocent bystander. But at least you lower the odds of that happening by knowing how to shoot. Instead of just thinking that you buy a gun and because you have a gun, the bullets just find the target. And that's not how it works. You know, I already told y'all. I had the guy shooting at me from 5 feet away, and he hit me in my leg. Missed all of the big parts of me, but hit me in my leg. Thank God he was no shooter. Thank God, because if he was, there would be no live today. But he was one of those people that thought just because he had a gun, he can kill Uncle Light Burley. And that's not how it went. He went to bucking, missing everything, and shoots me in the leg. After aiming at my chest, he shot me in the leg. Terrible shot. Thank God for that. Being shot ain't a pretty thing either. It hurts a lot. If anybody on this live that hasn't been shot, let your Uncle Burley tell you now, stay away from them hot metal things because they hurt. It hurt a lot. Mm-hmm. They hurt a lot. He said, I'm an expert rifleman. Get at me if you want to learn how to shoot long range. Michael Phoenix, I'm gonna get at you. You know, I got Peter Couts, Gun Hand Burley. He showed me a lot of things. He's a gun man, but I love to soak up the information. I'm gonna have to get with you, Michael Phoenix. I want that. I grew up off of the Rifleman. Anybody that knows the show the Rifleman already knows what you can do with a rifle when you're nice with it. So yeah, Michael Phoenix, I want that information. Carlos Isla says, "Yup, and healing from them ain't simple." No, it's not healing. Healing from them is not. It's not simple at all. I had a tough time healing. As far as fighting goes, though, I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but I will still cut you. Bad from and not much technique, but it only takes one good blow to put an end to the show. That's right. And when it comes down, see, knife techniques is another one that gets kind of fantastical. What makes you a good knife man? I'm gonna tell you what makes you a good knife man. Knowing where to cut. If you really want to be a good knife man, study the anatomy of the human body. Understand how the anatomy works, and you will be a vicious knife man. Could you imagine getting into a fight with a doctor and he had a knife? Imagine fighting an open heart surgeon and he has a knife in his hand. He's going to fillet you. And not because he has a knife technique, because he knows where to cut you. Just like a gun. A gun matters because you know where to place the bullets. You place the bullets in the right place, he don't go home. Because it's not just because you get shot, you die. I've seen people with some terrible shots still live. So you want to be a good weapon person, understand the anatomy of the body. Dirt Poor said a trained woman with a knife can beat any average non-trained man. Yeah, that's probability and this is probable and possible. But see, what they also don't teach you with the knife is, are you ready to cut somebody and have their blood splatter on your face? See, most people ain't ready for that. So you can be nice with a knife, but are you ready to stomach filleting a man like a fish? You got to be in a whole different type of mind state to understand that. Most people running around with these knife forms don't even have the spirit to fillet a man. You have to have the spirit to fillet a man. Like people walking around like killing men is just easy. And it's easy, but living with it ain't easy. See, living with your kill is not easy. Guam King breaking it down. Rose Burley. She said, I went to jail for stabbing the dude, charges dropped. Sounds like Miss Rose Burley has some good lawyers on deck. Yeah, yeah. That's another good defense right there. That's the 53rd block right there. Have some good lawyers. Because after you heard the man, you're gonna need them. Crimson Skull said, "Whoa, Rose ain't messing with you. No, Rose Burley ain't about that games. I already rolled out the carpet. If you've been checking out my lives, Rose Burley is about her work. She's about that twerk, knife work, hand work. She about that work, and that's where you have to be with it. That's right, Hunter Scott. The 53rd block is have some lawyers, have good lawyers, because when you get up in that courtroom, they will fillet you. Them laws that teach you something else about the style of fighting you didn't know." Ricky Ferguson said, "I just got here, but I'm pressing one for the 53rd block." That's right. That 53rd block is one of the most important. Get some lawyers. After your master slow firing that long range, then you move on to table two firing, which is the real deal. Learning how to shoot a moving target. Shoot a moving target. I didn't have a lawyer. The dude was harassing online me, so I met up with him at the park and went to work. Rose Burley is pulling up on people. Internet trolls can. Y'all need to hear what she said. These internet trolls can get this work. They be thinking they just you safe. Nah, you can get this work. If you got somebody willing to pull up, you can get this work. You know what internet trolls are? I compare internet trolls to back in the days when I was young. And when I was young, and one of the things we like to do was knock on somebody's door and then run. So they answer the door and nobody be standing there. That's the equivalent to these internet trolls jumping on lives talking crazy. They just knocking on doors and running. Just the door knocker and running. That's it. They ain't sticking around for the smoke. She said, "Damn the wrench. She got the knife." That's right. Miss Rose Burley is wrenched up and knifed up. I was in jail for 3 days. It was terrible. I regretted it. See, now we talking talk. See, now Miss Rose Burley is giving you the reality of the situation. 3 days in the pokey ain't a nice place. We call it bullpen therapy because it's called the bullpens. Bullpen therapy. That will change your life. When I went to jail and I seen all of the fools in jail around me, you know what I figured out? This ain't where I'm supposed to be. I'm too smart to be in here. Yeah, I'm too smart to be in jail. I said it. I'm too pretty. I'm too smart to be in a lockup. That's right. So I avoid the lockup and I use my brains. You can, and I'm not saying that it's always going to work. There are no absolutes here, people. We're talking in general. We're not talking absolutes. So anybody get on there and say something? No, we're not talking absolutes. We're talking in general. But you got to understand that the fight doesn't stop after you then stab somebody. The fight continues because if you killed them, now you got to go to court and you got to fight for your life in court. And hide right behind the fence or wall after you knock. Yeah, that was me. I was my knocking and running game was swift. They said if I would have stabbed him 3 inches deeper, he would have been paralyzed. Well, thank God for that, Miss Rose Burley, because then you couldn't be on the live with us. You'd have been out there paralyzing people and turning them to quadriplegics. You know what I'm saying? Laying them up. You wouldn't be on this live. So we are blessed that you didn't go 3 inches deeper. John the Beast Mugabe versus Paul Punisher Williams. I like the Beast Mugabe versus Hagler. Remember in the fight, they was like, "Do it for the father. Do it for the father." I want to know who the father was. Was he talking about John Mugabe's father? If you look at the Hagler fight when he's getting beat up and dusted off, and right before Hagler knocks him out, they had him in the ring, the corner, and they was like, "Do it for the father. Do it for the father." I don't know if he was talking about Mugabe's father or Father Jesus Christ. I don't know which father he was talking about, but they were saying, do it for the father. It didn't help because Hagler put him away anyway, but Mugabe was a beast. Mugabe was a true beast. And by the time he had reached Hagler, he was already knocking people stiff, starching them out. Miss Rose Burley said 3 days in jail made me realize filing a restraining order was the better choice. Indeed. Indeed. The best fight you can fight is the one you don't have to. Press one. The best fight you can fight is the one you don't have to. Press one if you with me. Press one if you feel me. The best fight you can fight is the one you don't have to. See, the smartest fighter knows how to avoid the fight. So that way, the fight that comes to him, he's blessed by the universe because he did everything to avoid it, and now he's been forced into it. Everybody who gives folks the smoke outside the dojo should have 2 pairs of white tees and boxes in the car. They make you buy everything in jail. Say it again, Free Smoke. He said, everybody who gives folks the smoke outside the dojo, where'd that go? Hold on. Where'd that go? It went out that fast. That was a good comment there. That was dope. Boxing teaches you not to street fight. Yes. Because you fight so much in the gym, you don't want to fight on them streets. You're doing everything to avoid the fight. Like, come on, man. I don't want no smoke. I'm good. You're doing everything to avoid it. I didn't eat for 3 days, couldn't stomach the jail food. No one can stomach jail food, Miss Rose Burley. They do that on purpose. That's part of the mental breakdown. Give you a stale sandwich with old bread. They was giving out bread with big blocks of cheese in it. So you're going to be in jail and constipated. You eat that cheese sandwich, your stomach going to be doing backflips. And then you got to take a crap with everybody watching you. In the holding cell, there could be like 30, 40 people in there. One toilet with a little guard, just guarding your lower half, but you just sitting there looking at everybody blowing up the joint. Is that what you want? To have to take a shot in front of 30 people looking at you? And your stomach is on bubble because they done gave you a big cheese sandwich and a small thing of milk? They done gave you cheese and milk. Me, I'm lactose intolerant. It was killing me in there. He said, keep cash on you too. You're going to need that commissary money. I keep some gloves in the trunk. I want to get a pair of those 52 block gloves. Like you have the gloves in other colors. I need to get them. I only got them in black and white right now, but I'm definitely going to switch up some colors soon. Uh-oh, Mars Mathematics, Wrench Gang is in the building. Apparently people love it in there because they in and out constantly. And these are the crazies, Mars Mathematics. These are the crazies. Yes, there are some people that they act like they love the bullpen. Mars Math, it's always family. Anytime I see you, Mars Mathematics. Let me tell you about Mars Mathematics, people. True supporter, holds me down. He on other channels arguing with people, going in at them. Mars Mathematics is family, people. Press one for Mars Mathematics, Wrench Gang. And he out there in Philly, one of my second homes. He out there in Philly. So you know one day me and Mars Mathematics got to meet up because I got to meet my people that support me like he do. Press one for Mars Mathematics if you in the chat. Press one. You want to talk about people holding you down that's never met you? This is, and this is what I love about the internet. There's some things I don't like about this internet, but there's a lot of things I do love about this because how you can connect with people you've never met and build with them, and they can become family. I ain't never met Mars Mathematics in person, but I consider him part of the Burley family. You know what I'm saying? He gonna get his Burley name soon. We got to get him his Burley name. And that's not just because he likes what I do, but I like people that like me. I'm just going to keep it real. I just keep it real simple. I'm from the dirt. We keep it simple. You like me, I like you. That simple. You can see a bit of Skull and Bones in Ernest Hoos versus Bob Sapp fight. That's correct. Miss Beverly Rose is showing people the Team Burley in here. Peter Groves, would it be? Team Burley is up in here. Team Burley is up in here. The Burley name, the Burley clan is growing. We an army now. We started out as a small little outfit. Now we the Marines. We moving to special ops. Soon we gonna be on special ops level. Because the team is strong. And everybody that rock that Burley name know the Burley name come with the work ethic. That's all the Burley name symbolizes, that you about that work ethic. That's right, Miss Rose Burley, Wrench Gang Gang, up in the room. You already know she ain't got no problem putting that knife on you. So don't talk funny, because she'll remove you right. She'll knife you right out the chat. Because we already know she got no problem giving you that blade, love. Yeah, Miss Rose. Yeah, I've been seeing. I looked at Marvin Cook's True Boxer stance, and I reached out to him, and to my surprise, he knew about me. I was very surprised. My cousin said he was smashing a 350-pound female CO because this other girl. Yeah. When you locked up you look right past that 350. She looking like she got a Coca-Cola bottle shape. But when you up in there, your mind playing tricks on you. Your mind's playing tricks on you. 350 is good when you locked up. So that 350, I can work with that when I'm locked down. But is that the life you want? You up in there with them 350-pound women? Oh, Rose said the CO I had when I was in was slim thick. Oh, you got lucky. You had the slim thick one, Miss Rose Burley. Oh, you got very lucky. You got very lucky. Because all of my bullpen therapies, I think it may have been one time that I seen something worth smashing. One time. Everything else was unsmashable. Unsmashable. It locked me up for 10 years. I'd rather jerk off. I got a good imagination. Shoot, I'd rather choke my chicken than be up there trying to smash something 400 pounds and she mess around, fall on me and smash me. Yeah, that's the only time it makes sense to smash something 350. You got to be a catch to it. It better be a catch 22. You know what I'm saying? I ain't listen. I'd rather choke my own chicken. I'd rather choke the chicken than go out there smashing 350, trying to deadlift 350. I'd rather choke my chicken than try to deadlift 350. Press one. That's right. I'd rather choke my chicken than deadlift 350. Press one. That's a fact. That is a fact. I ain't got no time to be paying with 350. That's like almost double my weight. I can't do that. I can't do that. But I can understand why a man in jail will go at that 350. You've been in jail long enough. What was that movie when dude was dealing with the fat chick, but in his mind he thought she was a slim chick? That's what you're gonna have to do in jail. You know, you've been in jail so long, a fat chick start looking like a slim chick. That's just your mind playing tricks on you. That's all that is. Miss Rose Burley said the females in there was flirting with me, and some of them was cute, but I ain't fall for when this guy. When we sitting in the pokey, we ain't got no time for that type of talk. I'm in the pokey. I'm trying to figure out how can I get home. Smashing is the last thing on my mind. I'm trying to figure out if I can get out of it, if they're gonna give me bail. The Shinobi realm. 350 can keep a brother warm up in there. That's mad insulation. Yeah, that's a lot of insulation. Yes, indeed. That is a lot of installation there. No hate towards big girls and BBWs, but I'm a strong man for my size. So if I can't lift you, We can't rock, shorty. Facts. Hey, I got some hate towards the BBWs. I'm just gonna keep it real. I'm just gonna keep it real. I ain't gonna lie. I got all types of hate, and I'm on the other side of the fence. You know what I'm saying? Especially as a woman, because you know your body is currency. So why are you gonna let that happen to yourself? Come on. That's like a man not. That's like a man not keeping his mind on his money. If you ain't keeping your mind on your money, then you ain't manning up. And as a woman, if you let yourself go to 350, then you ain't woman enough. So I'm gonna stand on the side and hate on you. I'm just saying, I'll be hating on you. I'm hating on Lizzo. I don't be letting them. I don't listen. All that body positivity, I ain't going for it. I'm gonna bring you down because back in my days, we had one fat dude. His name was Fat Ricky, and that's what we called him, Fat Ricky, because we wanted to let him know that we knew that he was fat. Hmm. We wasn't even going to let him think that we ain't see all of that fatness around his face. So we called him Fat Ricky. That's right. And you know why we called him Fat Ricky? Because there was only one of him. During my time, most of the young men were already in shape because we were running, jumping off roofs, running from the police. Oh, you stayed in shape. You stayed in shape. Because you got to think about it. This is why I'm hating on fat people. Because if this was survival, like we have made the world a comfortable place to live in. But let's say if we was in the jungle, fat people are going to die. If you can't hunt, you die. Hmm. And if you out of shape, it's going to be hard for you to get your hunt on. That's all I'm saying. He said, that's what I call my neighbor. If she big and real fine, or if I get word the boxes though, then I still might put my dipstick. Listen here, Guam King, I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you, brother. You know what I'm saying? I ain't mad at you. Ricky wasn't fat, was he? A light, the shebang chips you can only get it in jail, and the prisons done made it to some of the gas stations. The shebang chips. Whoa, I ain't never heard of shebang chips. Yeah, you know that's definitely only a jail thing. I brought a 1 pound weighted jump rope, and that thing is hard, gassing me out in 10 minutes. That's right. Battle rope. Get you that battle rope. Battle rope. I love that. Uh, nah, for real. One time I was running around, running from the police in the middle of school. I had in a slick spot, and my fat homeboy tried hiding with me. I was low key disappointed. Yes, that's what I'm saying. You can't even run into a place and hide when you overweight. It just doesn't work. Like you wasn't born overweight, people. That's what you gotta understand. You wasn't born that way. So it's not natural. It's not natural. It's laziness. That's all it is. It's laziness. Because gaining weight is a mathematical thing. If you eat, if you're taking 2,000 calories a day and you only burn 50 of them, you got 1,500 calories laying up on you. You start doing that every day and it stacks up and now you're fat. So losing weight is really math. Watch what you take in, burn most of it, and you'll be good. So if you're taking 2,000 calories, but you burn 1,500 of it, you got 50 calories sitting up on you. That's good numbers. We tried to jump a fence with my 400-pound fat friend. We had to bend the chain link, topple down for him to walk over, roll over it. He said, but we got it done. You know what I'm gonna say, Dirt Poor? You are a good friend. Because in all that time you could have got caught. But if you stuck around to roll the fence down for your friend, you are what we call a real friend. I didn't even try to run from the pigs when I stabbed old dude. Just sat at the park and waited. Oh, Miss Rose went out like gang. You went out like Bumpy Johnson. Miss Rose Burley went out like Bumpy Johnson. She said, "Ain't no time to run. I know what I did. I didn't poke them up. I'm gonna just wait for the popo." That's Bumpy Johnson. Quit eating as much food. Period. That's right. That's right. It's a mathematical thing. Losing weight. Real math. If you do the math, it ain't gonna be that hard. Middleweight Canelo versus middleweight Hopkins or Roy. Mm. I give Canelo a better chance against Hopkins than the middleweight Roy. Roy had way too much movement for Canelo, and we know Canelo, he doesn't have fast feet, and Roy was way light on his feet. So I think Canelo would have had a better chance with Hopkins at middleweight than he would with Roy at middleweight. Listen, being overweight just is not healthy. It's not good for you. And that's where it comes down to. The fact that they're making it okay to be fat is crazy. It's crazy. And you know who's the people that are doing that? The food industry. It's the food industry. McDonald's and Burger King, I bet they're probably they're behind all of this body positivity. McDonald's, Burger King, Chick-fil-A. You know why? Because they want you to feel good eating them burgers and Chick-fil-A's or sticking them down your throat without working out. They want you to feel okay with spending your money with them. They the one that started this body positivity thing. McDonald's and Burger King. They the ones behind it. So what did Mr. Bumpy Johnson? That's what how Bumpy Johnson was with a gangster. Gangster. Shoot you and wait for the police because he had good lawyers. Oh yeah, free smoke. Rose Burley is a real one. Hunter Scott said, and Wendy's. That's right. They were all collaborated on this body positivity movement. Wendy's, McDonald's, Burger King, Chick-fil-A, Jack in the Box, all of these places sat down and came up with a plan to make fat people feel good about sticking burgers down their throat every day. They called it body positivity, which is you view your body as something it's not. They call it body positivity. I call it delusions. It's all word semantics. Roy was the greatest man on 2 feet. If he didn't have that speed, James Toney would have ate him alive. Facts. Facts. Speed of reflexes, too. His reflex speed was insane. I don't think Canelo could have dealt with that reflex speed. Way sharper than Mayweather's. I mean, his reflex speed was crazy. And he had power in both hands. So he gave Canelo a lot of fits and headaches dealing with him. Let me see what time it is. Okay. Oh, we up in here rocking. Well, I just stopped through to give y'all a quick weed and Mary Jane. And this is what is today? Monday. So we're gonna be back Wednesday with another coffee and Mary Jane. And I just had to, after having that conversation with that Wing Chun guy, I said I gotta go do a live and talk about it. There's too much fight fantasy out here. And we're gonna keep cracking these dudes in the head. Edward Bernays was the one who fed us the propaganda of bacon and eggs. People been eating that way since. I think Canelo would have a problem with B-Hop also. Well, B-Hop had crazy defense for sure, but he just didn't have the foot movement. If you ain't got the foot movement, Canelo can be a problem. Hunter Scott, this was fun. Yes, it was. It was very fun. Aaron Problem was a problem for any. Aaron Problem definitely was a problem for anybody. He was the perpetual puncher machine. Aaron's prior defense was offense, and he was very good at it. Very good at it. Even though he had very good head and feet movement, he usually solved you with offense. But peoples, this was very fun. I appreciate everybody who's joined me on this live. We will be back on Wednesday with Coffee and Mary Jane, breaking down our 48 laws of power, breaking down fight delusion, and how to make sure you don't end up in that delusional spectrum. Miss Rose Burley, and hey, listen, it's all good because that Miss Rose Burley has been on the last live. She's made it to the last 6, 7, 8 lives I had. So we appreciate you, Miss Rose Burley. We're gonna be back Wednesday. So make sure you up in there with the wrench and your great questions that you always bring to the live. This was good. Glad to catch a stream and get a chance to talk to you. All cool people. I always enjoy talking to y'all. Salute. Love. Stay united. Good night, all. It's another one.